Money wouldn't be so important if everyone didn't want some. Isn't that the truth? Today I want to talk to you about what is it that you want? What do you aspire to achieve? Why in the world did you decide to click on this video? So do we have clarity of purpose, or do we need to investigate what does that mean for your overall success? Let's get into it. The reason I want to talk to you about this is you can't, you will not reach any sort of success or achievement in any venture that you undertake unless you know exactly what you want that success to look like, to feel like. Can you see it? Can you imagine it? Can you describe it? And this is where I want to start. Let's talk about description. And I'm talking to you not as if I know the answer, but having come to a realization that I myself actually cannot formulate it well enough. So here's my question. If I were to ask you right now, what is it that you're selling? Can you articulate that in less than 15 seconds? I know I can't. I know I'm not clear. If you were to ask me, I would blabber on about something to do with people who want to become solopreneurs, who have careers and they want to go into the business for themselves. They want to do a side hustle, and I know a lot of the tools. I know how to... You see where I'm going with this. You're not excited about this. You're not inspired about this. There's no crispness. There's no clarity. There's nothing that will want you to sign up, follow me, read my material. And this is where I need to get to in the next week at the most. Because when I read my sales page on solobusiness.ca, I discovered that I had no clue what I'm doing. What am I selling? Who am I helping? And most importantly, if you were to read it, why would you sign up? If you ever read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, you will know immediately and instinctively what I'm talking about. In that book, he describes desire and necessity for clarity of purpose as the number one priority to be successful. If you cannot articulate today what it feels like to reach your objective, what does it feel like to wake up and have that money in the bank? Have that beautiful car. You know what? Have the freedom to not do anything that day. If you can't feel it, if you can't articulate it, and if you can't bring up that image every single day of the week in your mind, you will not be able to reach it. Or even if you will be able to reach it, it's going to come substantially with more pain and struggle and all of the different things that you will have to overcome. Now, most of you just right now rolled your eyes and said, what garbage. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Would you be surprised and would you argue with the fact that if a person lives in, let's say, poor environment, exposed to crime, violence, that over time, a lot of the people are going to gravitate to that same way of behaving. Those pure, perfect people will see the benefits of acting violent, of committing criminal activity. You will not disagree with that because we have examples of that plenty across the globe. So if you agree with that, why would you disagree that if you expose your mind, the inside of your head, your subconscious, to the idea that you can be rich, you can be powerful, and you can be successful, why would you argue that that will not have the same effect on your subconscious as being exposed to violence and crime? I'll give you a different example, which also might resonate with you. Think about it this way. Have you seen all of the movies where they portray successful people? Have you longed to be on that yacht? Have you longed to have that wonderful breakfast in Italy, somewhere in Tuscany, when a server brings you freshly squeezed orange juice? See how easily I'm able to manage those images in your head? See how readily you're willing to accept that and call that up in your mind? That is exactly what I'm talking about. If you want to achieve anything, whichever business you're in, whichever business you want to build, whichever service you want to sell, if you cannot visualize the end state, the success, the number of clients that you're going to have, the amount of money that you're going to be making, chances are you are not creating that inception moment in your subconscious. And for all of you who watched the movie Inception, great, you know what I'm talking about. For all of you who did not, go watch it right now. And this is not a promotion for the movie, but that movie creates the image that you need to understand to become successful. So let's recap again what I've been talking about. Everyone wants money. Everyone wants what money has to offer as a result of having it. But few of us, me, myself included, and you, if you're still watching this, we haven't yet articulated to ourselves why. What is going to be the end purpose? And we haven't envisioned in our mind's eye what it would mean to achieve that. And what that means is we haven't launched that piece of software that happens in the back of our minds without us even knowing, that begins to create the connections, that begins to spin the wheels of motion that eventually leads us to success. So what is my call to action to you today? If previously I told you in the last video, I told you to get your butt out of your seat and do something, take that first step. If you've done that, congratulations. Now my next call to action is, now that you're ready to master your will and dedicate some focus time to doing something, what I want you to do today is write down on a piece of paper, what is it exactly that you want to achieve? Are you going to be a speaker on a podium? Are you going to have a multi-store franchise selling XYZ? Whatever you want to do. Do you want to be a king realtor? Do you want to be, renting out equipment? It doesn't matter, but write it down. Write it down and see how long it takes for you to explain that. Tomorrow, not the same day, tomorrow, edit it. Edit it down. Make it shorter. Make it more precise, more crisp. And then the next day, do the same thing. How much can you condense that idea to maintain the essence and yet not be as verbose? And then step number 2, after you've done that, pitch it to your friends. Pitch that very text to your friends and see the response you get. Now, I'm not asking you to look for validation. I'm not asking you to only pursue your dream if your friends say, "Oh yeah, this is great." That doesn't matter. Your dream is your dream alone. There have been so many people who have been turned down by investors, their colleagues, because they thought the idea was preposterous. And yet they proved them wrong. And so can you. But what you want to do when you're pitching it to your friends is you want to see the reaction. Do they get the essence of what you're trying to achieve, or is it so far-fetched that it's beyond their comprehension? Get that input, get that sense, and then refine that idea even further. But what I don't want you to do is stop just because somebody says, "Nah, it's never going to work." In fact, if they say it's never going to work, I want you to use that to reinforce your desire to make it work and never stop before you achieve it. Do you understand what you need to do? Again, get your butt out of the chair and start doing something. Take 3 days to refine the idea, pitch it to your friends, refine it further, and then keep it on your desk. And then keep and read what you want to achieve every single day and try to see yourself after many steps, many months, maybe even years, having achieved that. You will not believe the transformation that's going to drive, the reinforcement that you're giving your mind, and you're essentially tricking yourself. So go forth. Remember, if you repeat any statement many times, your mind will treat it as the truth. So why not tell your mind that you are already successful? See you in the next one.